Have they tried to destroy your name? Have they weaponized your reputation to build their own lies? Have they convinced others that you are the problem while they walk away clean innocent playing the victim? Listen to me carefully. Chosen one. What if I told you that the very name they tried to bury the reputation they attempted to shatter the identity they worked so hard to assassinate is now the key that will expose every lie they ever told? This is not coincidence. This is divine reversal. Right now, in this very moment, something is happening in the spiritual realm that your enemies cannot see. The tables are turning. The lies they spread about you, they're collapsing. The stories they fabricated, they're unraveling. The alliance they built against you, it's crumbling from within. And here's what they never anticipated. Your name, the one they dragged through the mud, is now becoming the proof that they are the liars. You see, God has a way of flipping the script. When Haman built the gallows to hang Mordecai, he had no idea he was building his own execution platform. Esther 7:10 declares, "So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai." The trap was reversed. The weapon backfired. The destroyer was destroyed. That's exactly what's happening to you right now. Every false witness they brought against you is now testifying against them. Every lie they told is now exposing their true character. Every manipulation they used is now revealing their darkness to everyone watching. Your silence was never weakness. It was strategy. Your patience was never defeat. It was positioning. And now God is using your name as the standard of truth that makes their lies impossible to hide. They thought they could erase you. They thought they could rewrite history. They thought if they repeated the lie long enough, it would become truth. But Proverbs 12:19 says, "Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment." Their moment is up. Before we go any deeper, I want to say thank you to every single soul who has supported this message through Super Thanks. Your generosity means more than words can express. You're not just giving, you're partnering with a divine movement to bring light to those who walk in darkness, hope to those who feel defeated, and truth to those who've been silenced. Whether you give or not, I am deeply grateful for your presence here, your time, your attention. If this word is resonating with your spirit right now, go ahead and let me know in the comments. Type "tables turned," because what I'm about to reveal next will confirm everything you've been feeling. Chosen one, they used your name to build their lies. But God is about to use that same name to demolish their deception. Stay with me. This is your vindication moment. How long have you carried the weight of being called a liar when you were the one telling the truth? How many nights have you replayed the moment when they twisted? Your words turned your honesty into ammunition and convinced everyone around you that you were the problem. How does it feel to watch someone wear a mask of innocence while your name bleeds in the shadows? You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a specific kind of pain that comes with being a chosen one, a pain that cuts deeper than betrayal, sharper than rejection. It's the agony of standing in your truth while the world applauds the lie. You've been there, standing alone in rooms full of people who believed the narrative someone else wrote about you. You've watched friendships dissolve, family members turn cold, opportunities vanish, all because someone decided that destroying your credibility was easier than facing their own darkness. And the worst part, you couldn't even defend yourself without sounding defensive. Every word you spoke to clear your name somehow made you look more guilty. Every attempt to expose the truth was labeled as bitterness, jealousy, or instability. They painted you as the villain in a story where you were actually the victim. And slowly, painfully, you learned that silence was your only option. Not because you were weak, but because you were wise enough to know that God sees what man refuses to acknowledge. Psalm 109, 2-3 captures this perfectly. For wicked and deceitful mouths are opened against me, speaking against me with lying tongues. They encircle me with words of hate and attack me without cause. You did nothing to deserve this assassination of character. You were targeted not because of what you did wrong, but because of what you represent truth. And truth is dangerous to those who live in deception. Let me tell you something that nobody else will say to you. The reason they had to destroy your name is because your name carries too much power. Your reputation threatens their carefully constructed lies. Your integrity exposes their manipulation. Your very existence is proof that their version of reality is false. So they did what every coward does when faced with undeniable truth. They attacked the messenger. You became the scapegoat, the problem, the crazy one, the difficult one, the one who needs help. They gaslit you so effectively that you started questioning your own memory, your own perception, your own sanity. There were moments, be honest, when you wondered if maybe, just maybe, they were right and you were wrong. Maybe you were too sensitive, too paranoid, too suspicious. Maybe you imagined the betrayal. Maybe you misunderstood their intentions. But deep down, beneath all that confusion and self-doubt, your spirit knew. You knew what you saw. You knew what you heard. You knew what they did. And that knowing, that unwavering inner witness, was the only thing that kept you from completely unraveling. This is the chosen one's burden. You carry a level of awareness that isolates you. You see patterns others miss. You sense motives others ignore. You recognize wolves in sheep's clothing while everyone else is petting the wool. And when you try to warn people, they look at you like you're the threat. They call you judgmental, negative, divisive, anything to avoid confronting the uncomfortable truth you're speaking. Job understood this torture. His own friends accused him of secret sin, while he sat in ashes covered in sores, stripped of everything. They insisted his suffering was proof of guilt. But Job 27, 5-6 records his response. Till I die, I will not put away my integrity from me. I hold fast my righteousness and will not let it go. My heart does not reproach me for any of my days. That's you. Bloodied but not broken. Wounded but not defeated. But not silenced, but not voiceless. Because here's what your enemies never calculated. Every lie they told about you was being recorded in the courts of heaven. Every false witness was being documented. Every manipulation was being archived. And God, who sees in secret, was preparing a reversal so profound that when it manifests, no one will be able to deny his hand in your vindication. Your struggle wasn't random. Your pain wasn't wasted. Your isolation wasn't abandonment. It was preparation. God was teaching you to stand alone so that when he elevates you, you won't need validation from people who never understood your assignment in the first place. But right now, in this moment, something is shifting. Can you feel it? The tables are turning. What if the very silence they mistook for defeat was actually God positioning you for the greatest comeback of your life? What if every lie they spread about your name was simultaneously building the case for their own exposure? What if I told you that your truth, the one they tried to bury, mock, and erase, is about to become the undeniable proof that destroys every false narrative they ever constructed? Listen closely, chosen one, because this is where everything changes. There's a spiritual law that operates beyond human manipulation, beyond political maneuvering, beyond social engineering. And that law is this: truth cannot be buried forever. You can suppress it. You can distort it. You can drown it out with noise and propaganda and coordinated lies. But truth has a heartbeat. It has a pulse. And no matter how deep you try to bury it, it will claw its way back to the surface, gasping for air, demanding to be heard. Numbers 32:23 says it plainly. Be sure your sin will find you out. Not might, not maybe, will. There's no statute of limitations on truth. There's no expiration date on justice. The lies they told about you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, last month, they're all being compiled into a divine case file, and God is about to present the evidence in a courtroom where they have no defense attorney, no appeal process, and no way to spin the narrative. You've watched them rise while you fell. You've seen them celebrated while you were slandered. You've witnessed them gain influence opportunities, respect all, while standing on the grave of your reputation. And maybe in your weakest moments, you wondered if God was even paying attention. Maybe you questioned if righteousness even matters anymore in a world that rewards deception and punishes integrity. But here's what you didn't see happening in the invisible realm. Every time they used your name to validate their lies, they were actually creating a trail. Every time they referenced you to make themselves look credible, they were linking their story to yours. Every time they painted you as the villain to justify their actions, they were binding their fate to your vindication. They thought they were destroying you. They were actually connecting themselves to the very truth that will unravel them. Think about Joseph. His own brothers sold him into slavery and told their father he was dead. They built an entire lie around his disappearance. Years passed. They moved on. They probably convinced themselves the lie had become truth. But Genesis 45:3 records the moment when Joseph revealed himself. I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? And his brothers were terrified. They couldn't answer because the truth they thought they buried was standing right in front of them, elevated to the second highest position in Egypt, holding their very survival in his hands. The tables turned. The weapon they used against him became the platform for his promotion. The pit they threw him in became the pathway to the palace, and the name they tried to erase became the name that saved nations. That's you right now. You are in your reveal moment, or consider Daniel, thrown into a den of lions because jealous officials manipulated the king with lies about his faithfulness. They celebrated his demise. They watched him lowered into certain death. They went home satisfied that the threat was eliminated. But Daniel 6:23 says, "No wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God." And the very men who accused him, verse 24, records their fate. They were thrown into the same den, and the lions overpowered them before they even reached the floor. The trap reversed. The weapon backfired. The accusers became the casualties. And then there's Jesus, the ultimate example of truth, standing silent while lies screamed. They brought false witnesses. They twisted his words. They mocked his identity. They spit on his name. They crucified him between criminals to humiliate him publicly. For 3 days, it looked like the lie had won. The stone was sealed. The guards were posted. His enemies celebrated. But Sunday morning shattered every false narrative. The tomb was empty. Death was defeated. And the very people who thought they silenced him spent the rest of their lives trying to suppress the truth of his resurrection. Matthew 28:11-15 even records how they tried to bribe the guards to lie about what happened. They paid people to keep spreading the false narrative because the truth was too powerful to contain. That's what's happening right now with your name. They're scrambling. The story is falling apart. The inconsistencies are becoming obvious. The people who once believed them are starting to question, and your silence. The thing they interpreted as weakness is now the loudest testimony in the room, because you never had to lie, manipulate, or control the narrative. You simply stood on truth and waited for God to speak. Proverbs 12:19 declares, "Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue lasts only a moment." Their moment is expiring. Your endurance is about to be rewarded. So, here's the question burning in your spirit right now. How exactly is God going to use my name to expose their lies? Can you feel it happening right now? That shift in the atmosphere where suddenly they are the ones scrambling to explain themselves. Have you noticed how the very people who destroyed your name are now being forced to mention your name just to keep their own story straight? Do you see it yet? How your truth has become the thread that, when pulled, unravels their entire web of lies. This is not coincidence. This is divine choreography. What's happening right now is one of the most beautiful and terrifying displays of God's justice you will ever witness. The people who weaponized your name, who dragged it through the mud, who used it as a punchline to their victim narrative, they are now trapped by it. They can't move forward without referencing you. They can't justify their actions without bringing you up. They can't defend themselves without inadvertently proving that you were telling the truth all along. Your name has become their cage. Think about what this means. Every time they try to explain away their behavior, they have to mention what you said. Every time they try to paint themselves as innocent, they have to address what you exposed. Every time they attempt to maintain their credibility, they have to acknowledge your existence, and in doing so, they validate the very truth they tried to bury. They thought invoking your name would make them look credible. Instead, it's creating a pattern, a trail, a documented history that anyone with eyes to see can now follow straight back to the truth. Esther 7:9-10 records one of the most satisfying reversals in all of Scripture. Haman built gallows 75 feet high, specifically to hang Mordecai, the man who refused to bow to him, the man whose integrity threatened his ego, the man whose very existence exposed Haman's corruption. Haman went to the king with his plan, confident in his influence, certain of his victory. But when Queen Esther revealed the truth, when the light exposed the darkness, the king declared, "Hang him on the gallows he has prepared for Mordecai." And that's exactly what happened. The weapon Haman designed for someone else became his own execution platform. That's what's happening in your situation right now. The trap they set for you. They're standing in it. The narrative they built to destroy you. It's collapsing on top of them. The lies they told to discredit you. Those lies are now the evidence being used to expose their character. This is Psalm 7:15-16. Manifesting in real time, whoever digs a hole and scoops it out falls into the pit they have made. The trouble they cause recoils on them. Their violence comes down on their own heads. Every accusation they hurled at you is now boomeranging back. Every false witness they recruited is now turning on them. Every alliance they formed against you is now fracturing from the inside. Because lies require constant maintenance, constant energy, constant coordination, and they're exhausted. The weight of deception is crushing them. Meanwhile, you are free. You're not defending yourself anymore because you don't have to. You're not explaining yourself anymore because the truth is doing it for you. You're not fighting anymore because God has taken over the battle. And when God fights, He doesn't just win. He makes sure everyone knows who won and why. Isaiah 54:17 promised you this moment, no weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Not some weapons, not most weapons, every weapon. And notice it says, you will refute every tongue, not through argument, not through defense, but through the undeniable evidence of divine alignment. Your life, your peace, your continued existence, despite their attacks, that is the refutation. You've probably already started seeing the signs. Maybe people who once believed them are now reaching out to you privately, apologizing, admitting they see things differently now. Maybe opportunities that were blocked are suddenly opening. Maybe the reputation they tried to destroy is being restored in ways you never could have orchestrated yourself. Maybe the very platforms they used to slander you are now the places where their credibility is being questioned. This is God turning the tables, and He's doing it in a way that leaves no doubt about His involvement. Because when God vindicates, He doesn't do it quietly. He doesn't restore you in secret. He makes sure that everyone who witnessed your humiliation also witnesses your elevation. He makes sure that everyone who heard the lies also hears the truth. He makes sure that everyone who celebrated your downfall also sees your comeback. Proverbs 16:7 declares, "When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, He causes their enemies to make peace with them." Your enemies thought they had permanently damaged you. They're watching in horror as everything they said about you becomes evidence against them. Now, they're forced to reckon with the fact that your name, the one they tried to erase, is the key that unlocks the truth they've been hiding. The tables haven't just turned, they've flipped, and there's no going back. So what do you do now with this divine vindication that's unfolding before your eyes? Can you feel it happening right now? That shift in the atmosphere where suddenly they are the ones scrambling to explain themselves. Have you noticed how the very people who destroyed your name are now being forced to mention your name just to keep their own story straight? Do you see it yet? How your truth has become the thread that, when pulled, unravels their entire web of lies. This is not coincidence. This is divine choreography. What's happening right now is one of the most beautiful and terrifying displays of God's justice you will ever witness. The people who weaponized your name, who dragged it through the mud, who used it as a punchline to their victim narrative, they are now trapped by it. They can't move forward without referencing you. They can't justify their actions without bringing you up. They can't defend themselves without inadvertently proving that you were telling the truth all along. Your name has become their cage. Think about what this means. Every time they try to explain away their behavior, they have to mention what you said. Every time they try to paint themselves as innocent, they have to address what you exposed. Every time they attempt to maintain their credibility, they have to acknowledge your existence, and in doing so, they validate the very truth they tried to bury. They thought invoking your name would make them look credible. Instead, it's creating a pattern, a trail, a documented history that anyone with eyes to see can now follow straight back to the truth. Esther 7:9-10 records one of the most satisfying reversals in all of Scripture. Haman built gallows 75 feet high, specifically to hang Mordecai, the man who refused to bow to him, the man whose integrity threatened his ego, the man whose very existence exposed Haman's corruption. Haman went to the king with his plan, confident in his influence, certain of his victory. But when Queen Esther revealed the truth, when the light exposed the darkness, the king declared, "Hang him on the gallows he has prepared for Mordecai." And that's exactly what happened. The weapon Haman designed for someone else became his own execution platform. That's what's happening in your situation right now. The trap they set for you, they're standing in it. The narrative they built to destroy you, it's collapsing on top of them. The lies they told to discredit you, those lies are now the evidence being used to expose their character. This is Psalm 7:15-16 manifesting in real time. Whoever digs a hole and scoops it out falls into the pit they have made. The trouble they cause recoils on them. Their violence comes down on their own heads. Every accusation they hurled at you is now boomeranging back. Every false witness they recruited is now turning on them. Every alliance they formed against you is now fracturing from the inside. Because lies require constant maintenance, constant energy, constant coordination, and they're exhausted. The weight of deception is crushing them. Meanwhile, you are free. You're not defending yourself anymore because you don't have to. You're not explaining yourself anymore because the truth is doing it for you. You're not fighting anymore because God has taken over the battle. And when God fights, He doesn't just win. He makes sure everyone knows who won and why. Isaiah 54:17 promised you this moment. No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Not some weapons, not most weapons, every weapon. And notice it says, you will refute every tongue, not through argument, not through defense, but through the undeniable evidence of divine alignment. Your life, your peace, your continued existence, despite their attacks, that is the refutation. You've probably already started seeing the signs. Maybe people who once believed them are now reaching out to you privately, apologizing, admitting they see things differently now. Maybe opportunities that were blocked are suddenly opening. Maybe the reputation they tried to destroy is being restored in ways you never could have orchestrated yourself. Maybe the very platforms they used to slander you are now the places where their credibility is being questioned. This is God turning the tables, and He's doing it in a way that leaves no doubt about His involvement. Because when God vindicates, He doesn't do it quietly. He doesn't restore you in secret. He makes sure that everyone who witnessed your humiliation also witnesses your elevation. He makes sure that everyone who heard the lies also hears the truth. He makes sure that everyone who celebrated your downfall also sees your comeback. Proverbs 16:7 declares, when the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, He causes their enemies to make peace with them. Your enemies thought they had permanently damaged you. Now, they're watching in horror as everything they said about you becomes evidence against them. Now, they're forced to reckon with the fact that your name, the one they tried to erase, is the key that unlocks the truth they've been hiding. The tables haven't just turned, they've flipped, and there's no going back. So, what do you do now with this divine vindication that's unfolding before your eyes? Do you realize what just happened to your name? Do you understand that what was once whispered in shame is now being spoken with reverence by those who recognize divine authority when they see it? Can you grasp the magnitude of this transformation, that the very name they tried to erase from history has now become the cornerstone that proves their entire foundation was built on lies? Your name is no longer just a name, chosen one. It has been transformed into a testimony, a weapon, a banner of divine victory that flies over the battlefield where you once bled. This is what vindication looks like when God authors it. It's not just about clearing your reputation. It's about elevating your identity to a level where even your enemies have to acknowledge that there's something different about you. Something they cannot touch. Something they cannot corrupt. Something that carries the fingerprints of the Almighty Himself. Think about the name Daniel. When his enemies threw him into the lion's den, they thought they were eliminating a problem. They thought his name would become a cautionary tale, a warning about what happens when you defy the king's decree. But Daniel 6:26-27 records what actually happened. King Darius issued a decree throughout his entire kingdom, declaring, I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For He is the living God, and He endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. Daniel's name didn't just survive the attack, it became synonymous with the power of God. Every time someone spoke his name, after that moment, they weren't just referring to a man. They were invoking a testimony of divine intervention. They were acknowledging that this name represented something untouchable. That's what's happening with your name right now. Or consider the name Job. His friends tried to convince him that his suffering was proof of hidden sin. His wife told him to curse God and die. His reputation was dragged through the ashes of his own grief. But Job 42:10 says, "After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before." And here's what most people miss. Verse 11 says that everyone who had previously known Job came to celebrate with him and comfort him. They brought him gifts. They honored him. The very community that had once judged him now stood in awe of what God had done through his endurance. Job's name became a legacy. Centuries later, Ezekiel 14:14 lists Job alongside Noah and Daniel as examples of supreme righteousness. James 5:11 tells believers to remember the perseverance of Job. His name transcended his generation and became an eternal testimony to divine faithfulness. Your name is on that same trajectory. The attacks you endured, the slander you survived, the isolation you walked through, it wasn't destroying you. It was forging you into something that cannot be replicated, cannot be imitated, cannot be counterfeited. Your name now carries a weight that only comes from being refined in fire. And here's what drives your enemies absolutely insane. They have to mention your name now. They can't avoid it. Every time they try to defend themselves, your name comes up. Every time they try to rewrite history, your name is the footnote they can't erase. Every time they try to move forward, your name is the anchor that keeps dragging them back to the truth they're trying to escape. Proverbs 22:1 says, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." They tried to rob you of that good name. They tried to replace it with lies, accusations, and false narratives. But God has done something they never anticipated. He's made your name so powerful, so undeniable, so filled with divine authority that it now serves as the standard by which their lies are measured and found wanting. Your name is no longer a target. It's a testimony. It's no longer a weakness. It's a weapon. It's no longer something they use against you. It's something God uses to expose them. Isaiah 62:2 prophesies, "The nations will see your vindication, and all kings your glory. You will be called by a new name that the mouth of the Lord will bestow." You are entering a season where your identity is being renamed by God Himself, not in the literal sense, but in the spiritual reality that who you were before this trial is not who you are after it. You have been transformed, refined, elevated, and that transformation is written all over your name. So when they speak your name now, whether in fear, in frustration, or in forced acknowledgement, they are actually prophesying your victory. They are declaring, without even realizing it, that you were right, that you stood for truth, that you carried something they couldn't destroy. But there's one more thing you need to understand about what happens after vindication comes. So, what are you going to do now that you've been vindicated? Now that the truth has been revealed and your name has been cleared? Are you going to stay in the place of your pain, or are you going to step into the purpose that was waiting on the other side? Do you realize that everything you endured, every betrayal, every lie, every sleepless night, was preparing you for a level of authority that only comes through fire? Chosen one, this is your crossroads moment. You can either remain focused on what they did to you, or you can shift your attention to what God is doing through you. Because here's the truth: they never wanted you to discover. Your pain was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you into someone unshakable, someone undeniable, someone who carries such divine authority that even your silence commands respect. Look at where you are right now compared to where you were when this battle began. You're not the same person. The version of you that entered this trial was still seeking validation from people who were never qualified to judge you. But the version of you standing here today, you don't need their approval anymore. You've been approved by the highest court. You've been vindicated by the ultimate judge, and that changes everything. Romans 8:31 asks the question that should be burning in your spirit right now. If God is for us, who can be against us? The answer is simple: nobody. Not successfully, not permanently, not in any way that matters. They can try, they can scheme, they can rage, but when God has declared you victorious, their opposition becomes irrelevant. This is the moment where you must make a decision. Are you going to shrink back into obscurity, hoping to avoid future attacks? Or are you going to walk boldly into the calling that God has placed on your life, knowing that every attack you survived has equipped you for greater assignments? Philippians 1:6 promises, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." God didn't bring you through all of this just to leave you stuck in survival mode. He brought you through so that you could thrive, so that you could lead, so that you could become the living proof that truth always wins, that righteousness is never wasted, and that God's timing is always perfect. Your name is no longer a whisper of shame. It's a declaration of victory. What they tried to destroy has become your greatest testimony. What they used as a weapon has become your platform. What they meant for evil, God has transformed into your divine credential. So right now, I want you to do something. I want you to type in the comments, "I am ready." Not because you're perfect, not because you have it all figured out, but because you're finally ready to stop living defensively and start living purposefully. You're ready to stop hiding and start rising. You're ready to embrace the truth that you were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to stand out. The world is waiting for you to step fully into who God created you to be. Your vindication was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of your legacy. So, the question is no longer, will they admit they were wrong? The question is, what will you do with the authority God just gave you? Let me leave you with this truth that you must carry forward. Your name was never meant to be hidden. The attacks you endured were not random. They were targeted assaults against someone who carries divine purpose. And now that the tables have turned, now that your vindication has come, you stand at the threshold of your greatest season yet. Remember, this God did not bring you through that wilderness just to leave you wandering. He brought you through so you could stand as a testimony that truth cannot be buried forever. Your story is not over. It's just beginning to make sense. You are not alone in this journey. Even when it felt like you were walking through the valley by yourself, God was there. He saw every tear. He recorded every injustice. And He is now orchestrating a divine reversal that will leave no doubt about His faithfulness in your life. There is a community of chosen ones watching this right now who understand exactly what you've been through. And we are standing with you in prayer and faith and in expectation of everything God is about to do. So, let me ask you this. Are you ready to stop living in the shadow of what they said about you and start walking in the light of what God says about you? Let's pray together. Father God, I lift up every person hearing these words right now. You know their names, the names that were dragged through the mud, the names that were whispered in betrayal, the names that carried the weight of false accusations. Lord, I ask that you would breathe new life into their identity. Let them feel your hand upon their shoulder right now, reminding them that they are yours, that they are chosen, that they are victorious. Heal the wounds that words created. Restore what was stolen. Open doors that human hands tried to close. Give them boldness to walk into their calling without fear, without hesitation, without looking back. Let their names become testimonies of your faithfulness. Protect them from future attacks, surround them with divine favor, and let every lie that was spoken against them crumble under the weight of your truth. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a message that was meant specifically for you. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, and remember, your vindication is here. God bless you.